Okay, feelers, welcome back to another episode, but today we have a very, very special one. Now, while Cassidy frolics in Europe living her best life, and I hold down the fort here in Sydney, copying the winter, we had a guest that almost doesn't need an introduction. She is of GOAT status, if we're talking about the adult entertainment industry. She's done it all. I'm with Angela White. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. How are you going, first of all? I see you've been in Sydney for a while now. You've been here, there, and everywhere. How is it hectic? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, actually. And just, I thought like the first couple of days I was getting great sleep. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to get jet lag. And then suddenly I'm not sleeping and my circadian rhythm's all out of whack. But I'm doing okay, considering.
Do you have any tips or tricks to try and get through that jet lag? Because I know me personally, this is going to sound like I'm a prima donna. I can't do those economy big flights back to the States or Europe. Call me a prima donna. Call me someone that's not an average person anymore. I can't do it. I struggle for a week after it.
A week, yeah. I mean, I actually think that one of the best things is fasting on the flight because I think part of the reason you feel so bad after an international flight is because the food is so full of sodium and I feel like there's no nutrients in it, and eating that stuff on the plane just makes you feel really awful. So I fast and I feel so much better when I land.
And what's it like now that you're back in Australia? Is it like nothing ever changed? Is it different? How are you feeling about it all?
It's only been a few days so far, but it feels like home. It feels like, nothing really does change. It's nice.
Could you see yourself moving back here one day?
Probably, eventually. But right now I'm just right in the midst of, porn headquarters globally. So I've got so many opportunities in LA. So there's just no reason for me to be anywhere else at this point.
What's the porn industry like in Australia? I mean, if you're comparing it to the movie industry, it's obviously not on the same par as America and stuff like that. What's the porn side of things like in Australia?
I can't really answer that question anymore.
Wow.
Because it's been over a decade since I shot here. So I'm sure it's changed a lot. When I was shooting here, OnlyFans didn't even exist. So I know there's a lot of OnlyFans creators here in Australia. I don't know if there's more companies that are shooting, but at least when I was shooting, it was very much a more artistic, grassroots, feminist, amateur scene. That was really what it was all about. Whereas LA is the more polished, scripted, big features, mainstream porn. So I don't know if that's still the vibe here in Australia or if things have changed with the explosion of OnlyFans. I'm guessing because of OnlyFans, there's still a lot of kind of amateur POV style content being shot.
I'm going to be honest with you. Now that I've actually never thought about this, I don't think I've ever watched an Australian porno.
That's so un-Australian.
I know. Is that a crime? Is that bad? Just when you said that then, because I was like, obviously I've seen Australian movies, great movies, Wolf Creek and all these really cool ones. I'm thinking, I don't think I've ever watched a porno with an Australian accent.
Never even watched an Australian OnlyFans creator?
I've watched an OnlyFans creator, but I don't know if I count that as I count porn as the production, the amazing lighting, the script, whatever it is. That for me is the traditional porn. Mm-hmm. I feel like new age porn, it might be a little sub sort of area of it, but I've definitely watched OnlyFans creators in Australia, but I've never watched a porno in Australia, with an Australian plotline or something. So
what kind of porn do you watch?
Oh,
because you just left the door open for that.
You know what? I'm really into the MILF vibes.
Okay.
I love the MILF stuff.
But you like high production stuff with a script? Is that the vibe?
I do, but I feel like if it's too high production, it just doesn't feel realistic. If there's too much dialogue and there's too much intense script writing, for me, I still like the classic, I'm the pizza boy, I'm the plumber, the more chill stuff as opposed to the really high advanced, Pirates of the Caribbean. You know what I mean? That stuff, I'm like, come on, I don't know if that's stuff you like, but I'm save it for the movies, guys. Come on. I don't need to see Interstellar, porno on a spaceship. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And so so the MILF vibes, is that because you like a woman in charge, a mature woman who knows what she's doing? Or is that a fantasy that comes from you just growing up and seeing your friend's hot mom? What's
Fuck my friends who are listening to this right now. Guys, any friends of mine listening, I'm not fantasizing about your mom. Thanks, Angela, for that.
Sorry about that.
You know what? I think when I was first getting into porn, I loved the MILF stuff, and it never left me.
Okay.
It never left me. I
Yeah.
feel like I never grew out of it. I don't know if you
Yeah.
grow out of different, genres in porn, but I never grew out of it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, you like what you like.
Yeah. Okay. I want to play as a bit of an icebreaker, even though we've just broken the ice really well. I want to play a Would You Rather game.
Okay.
Okay. So, would you rather film a scene with the worst person you've ever had sex with, or do live commentary on your first ever sex scene?
Oh, I'd rather do live commentary on my first, even though that would be quite mortifying. I feel like that's better for me than having sex with the worst person.
And filming it. Creating a scene. That could be a new...
I would rather neither of those actually, but...
Hey, that's the game. You got to answer it. Come on.
Wait, so it's the person I've had sex with that was the worst in bed.
Worst person you've ever had sex with, you have to film a scene.
Wait, the worst person, like their personality is the worst, or they're just bad in bed?
No, they're bad in bed.
That scene would be terrible. If they're really that bad in bed. It would end up being a comedy, I suppose. But no, I think I'd do the commentary. It's watching gameplay as well. Like I can see how I've improved, and I can, I guess it would be nostalgic.
Okay. Would you rather be followed by a theme song that plays every time you enter a room, or fall over once every time you enter a room?
Oh, theme song. Can I pick the theme song?
Yeah,
I don't know what it would be, but it would be something.
You could pick it. So when you enter a room, just a song plays.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's really cool. That's like an entrance every single time.
It is.
Yeah.
I feel like I just want that.
Yeah, I want that. I mean, honestly, a theme song plays in my head. Anyway, so now
main
it's just
character
external. Exactly. Main character energy.
And it's the slow-mo as well, the slow-mo walking.
Oh, always the slow-mo. Yeah. The tits bouncing. Yeah.
I feel like that's just confidence, though. You walk into a room, you want to kind of own it. So I think that's fine. Okay. Would you rather someone who doesn't stop would you rather someone who doesn't stop talking whilst doing the deed, or someone who makes eye contact the entire time whilst doing the deed?
I don't think either of those things are terrible. I like eye contact.
Do you?
Yeah, because they're really connecting with you. Yeah. That's way preferable to, say, looking at the ceiling or not disconnecting, not being there. I mean, talking the whole time. Are they are they dirty talking, or are they just being like, oh, I need to do my laundry later? Like what? What is the talking that's happening?
I'm going to say, just like having chats with you, like just talking casually.
I mean, when you really get to know someone, that kind of happens sometimes during sex anyway. So what would I rather? I mean, I'll take the eye contact, I think, yeah.
Okay. Would you rather have the worst fashion in whatever room you're in, or have the loudest, worst laugh?
Oh.
Yes, we got it.
I feel really uncomfortable about this one. I don't know why it's making me feel really awkward. It's making me hot. I think I can't answer this question. I'm really stumped. I think maybe I'd have the worst fashion. I don't know.
Really? I would take the worst laugh.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, being the worst dressed, like, I look better naked anyway. So
True.
You're like, don't worry, it comes off. But imagine fucking me and I laugh during sex and it's just an ick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather do a scene in a bouncing castle or a haunted house?
Bouncing castle. I've actually done a scene we did the intro to the scene in the bouncy castle.
Wait, I'm so intrigued.
Yeah, so they got a bouncy castle and literally had me in different outfits bouncing in the bouncy castle because, the big natural boobs just going everywhere. So, yeah, I was just bouncing around in a bikini in the bouncy castle. But we did the actual sex.
Not on the bouncy.
Yeah,
Would that work?
I would have been down to do that. It would work. Yeah, it would actually make it easier.
I just feel like there would be a lot of like almost too much bouncing. It'd be hard to get the rhythm.
Yeah, I think though that I think if you were in sync with the partner though that you could get it right, and it would actually be like riding would be way easier because like you'd be using less of your muscles. You're just bouncing at that point. That could be fun.
Last one. Would you rather be celibate for 2 years or only have sex with amateurs who cry after?
Oh. I've cried after sex though, so I can't judge. Why are they crying? Because the experience is so incredible having sex with me. This is why.
Let's go with that, yeah.
Well, then, yeah, okay. I'll have sex with the amateurs, and every time they cry, I'm like, well.
Yeah, I've got that effect. Oh.
Yeah, I think I'll take the sex. Thanks.
Okay,
Yeah,
I love
I'm good
it.
at aftercare. So if they're crying
Yeah.
after the sex, then I'm a good cuddler. I'm great at comforting people. So
Aftercare is important, isn't it?
it is. Yeah.
Like, I speak to so many guys that aftercare is to them is like walking to the bathroom and chucking a towel. It's bad, hey?
Yeah.
That's so bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at least a little cuddle would be nice afterwards. Yeah, that'd be nice.
And you shouldn't have to ask for that,
Yeah,
right? It
I
should
don't
just
think you should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've just been as intimate as you can be with someone, with that person. So you should really respect that.
No, I agree. I
Yeah.
actually totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, aftercare I feel like is something that needs to be more taken into
Yeah,
consideration.
even if it's just a one-night stand, doesn't mean that you can't respect and have empathy for the person that you've just had sex with.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing worse than someone having sex, chucking a towel, and then saying, "Oh, do you want me to get you an Uber?" Like, it's pretty
Ooh.
bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Ooh.
That was great. That was really good.
Okay.
Now, I want to know, what's your biggest passion outside of work that maybe not everyone knows about you?
My biggest passion outside of work. I mean, I was going to say water sports, but that was going to come out wrong. I love being in the ocean. I love snorkeling. I love jet skiing. I just love being in the water. So traveling to exotic places and snorkeling and seeing the marine life is like my favorite thing to do when I'm not at work.
Do you get to do that a lot or no?
No, I don't.
Oh, really?
But I try. I mean, I try to do it like once or twice a year if I can. But just something.
Now, did you ever think that a girl from Sydney, growing up a normal life would be over in the States and rubbing shoulders with some of the biggest celebs? Like, do you have to pinch yourself, or is that
Yes.
something that's just normal?
No, I mean, it is normalized, but I will definitely, like, at least once a month, I'll be driving down Sunset Boulevard and be like, I can't believe I'm here. I
Yeah.
can't believe it. It's insane. Because I dreamt of that for so long, and to actually be living in Los Angeles is insane to me.
I feel like it's the Aussie dream, like to go over there and like build a life and like, it's just like something that is always like thought of like, I'd love to be able to do that someday. And like, it's really cool to be, I mean, me personally, if I was there and I'd be seeing some of these celebs, I would be the most embarrassing person in the world. I would be squealing and like asking for selfies. Like, I'm that guy. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm like, whatever.
I think you'd get over it after like the
Yeah.
first couple of celebrity sightings. You'd be like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's just normal to see celebs in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does confidence in the adult industry look like? Is it something that a lot of entertainers have, or is it something that you slowly build over time?
I think it depends on the person and maybe how extroverted they already are before they enter the industry. I think everybody sort of is confident in different ways. I think it's about really being your authentic self. I think that's where true confidence comes from. Yeah.
Is it something that you have always had, or is it something that like has developed?
I think I've built my confidence. I think the longer I've been in the industry, you just realize that we're all kind of the same underneath it all. Like, I don't know.
We're all humans.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what your status or money or whatever or looks, like we're all just normal people that get up in the morning, have breakfast, shower. Like, that's the way I kind of look at it when I'm like overthinking someone's status or whatever too much. I kind of just think, well, they just put their pants on the same as me in the morning. They have whatever their breakfast is, or like, I don't know. That kind of makes me a bit more grounded and going, oh, like, I don't need to be so judgmental of myself and get, anxiety about confidence and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really interesting in the adult industry because we're all like, we are confident about things that most people aren't confident about, like just getting completely naked in front of a stranger and having sex with the lights on, the brightest of lights, stage lights on. And we just kind of, I think we have a different relationship with our bodies, but also other people's bodies. And we don't think anything's really embarrassing or weird. It's just like, oh, it's just human.
Yeah, we actually had another really big adult entertainer on our show last year. She lives in the States as well. Is it quite a small industry? Like, yeah. So we had Savannah Bond on.
Oh, I've worked with Savannah Bond a bunch.
She was great.
Yeah.
She watched. I was on a reality TV show. She watched the show, and she's from Melbourne, I think, originally. And she was just DMing us, and then she came on, and like, it's so interesting about confidence because she's actually quite she's a bit more introverted type of girl, but like you would never know that unless you actually spoke to her, because all people would assume that, you know, your job, you're naked, you'll all be very, and she was quite a soft-spoken, introverted girl, which I found really, really interesting.
But then on camera, she's like,
brilliant.
Yeah, she's very confident. Yeah.
So it really is interesting. In 2024, you got the Pornhub Award for the most viewed video. You've also won countless of other awards.
It was actually I'm the most viewed performer.
That's it.
For 2024. Yep.
You're the most viewed performer. You also won the AVN Performer of the Year for a record 3 times. Do these sort of awards sink in as something that you can be proud of, or it's just like something you don't really take too much notice of?
Oh, it's a little bit of both, I suppose. Like, definitely was such an honor and so overwhelming to win all of those awards, but particularly AVN Performer of the Year and then this 2024 most viewed porn star. I kind of try and take it in the moment and then get back to work, right? Because I still want to remain humble and I want to just keep performing, and you're only as good as your last scene. So I'm always like trying to make my next scene my best scene. So I do try and celebrate in the moment and kind of recognize how incredible that is to win those awards, but also make sure I'm focused on what I love, which is performing and creating good scenes.
Yeah, because we've had a lot of different, very high-level people on the show, whether it's athletes, actors, whatever, and they always say that the accolades, they're not too focused on at the moment. When they retire and it's all said and done, that's when they can really reminisce and be proud of all the things that they have done. So I feel like in a similar vein to that.
Yeah.
Now, this is a question we regularly ask our guests on the show. Australian men or American men?
I love both.
Okay.
I think, look, Australian men get a bad rap because they're just not as forward as American men.
Yep.
American men are much more forward. They will come up to you anywhere and ask you out on a date. And they can be quite romantic as well. They'll open the door for you and they'll take you out on a date. And, there's just they kind of put on the whole show. And some Australian men do that as well, but I do notice Australian men aren't as forward. Even like when it comes to like approaching me in public, for example, when I'm in LA, a lot of men will come up to me and ask me for a photo or just have a chit chat with me. I've been walking around Sydney and I'll definitely get the looks and I'm like, okay, but not as many men will actually approach me and ask for a photo, say. So I don't know why. Are we just more reserved as Australians, or?
I personally think we're a bit more of a keep to our own clique type of society, type of vibe. And I feel like once you're in your clique, the thing is, Australians are really extroverted with their personalities. Like they're loud, they're funny, they've got mullets, they really don't care about a lot of things. But I think like going up and approaching someone outside of your friendship group or dating group or whatever, for some reason, I feel like there is a bit of disconnect with going forward like Americans. And there is a big phenomenon at the moment in Australia where a lot of girls are saying that guys just aren't approaching them anymore. We talk about it on the show all the time. We've had the guy's perspective, the girl's perspective, and we do chalk it down to a bit of the Aussie culture. They are a little bit keep to themselves with that sort of stuff. And we are trying to figure it out. But I've been to America and they're so forward and they're happy to give you a compliment. And like I was in America and people would be like, hey man, I love your outfit. And I was like, never heard someone ever say that. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty interesting. But I think you're on the money where Americans are very forward and happy to.
Is there also a fear of rejection?
I think so.
Because that's the thing, like, of course you do open yourself up to rejection, but that's just part of life.
Yeah, I do think that if you are rejecting, it's always really important to be kind.
Yes, I agree.
Because that's going to come back to bite the whole dating scene eventually, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now, do porn stars judge regular people's sex? Like if someone in the industry was to have sex with someone, like the narrative that gets pushed and the cliche of what people think, like, do they judge regular people's sex if they're just having sex with someone who's not a porn star?
No.
Wow.
What do you mean?
I would be so nervous. I would be so nervous.
No, I mean, you can't. Look, the male talent in the industry are incredibly skilled at what they do. And there's a reason why you see the same male performers appear in scenes over and over and over again. It's actually a very small pool of male talent that we choose from because they're the only ones in the world that can get hard in front of an entire crew, stay hard, have sex for as long as we need, whether it's 45 minutes or 2 hours, and then pop on command.
That impossible.
That is a very small amount of men in the world that can do that. So if we're having sex with men outside of porn, firstly, a lot of women don't even want to have sex for 2 hours. You know, like they've got other things to do. I mean, every now and then it's nice.
No.
But also, like, I mean, the expectations are also different. Like when I'm having sex on a porn set, we are being a lot more acrobatic than I would even want to be in a bedroom at home. Like I have to stretch and prepare for some of these scenes. Like when I'm having sex in a bed in my own time, I want to have like really connected, intimate sex. I don't want to be opening up for the camera or the light. I want to be man blanketed. So we're not expecting porn sex off a porn set.
I feel like that's such a cliche of what people think. Like I would think that. I would be, if I had sex with a porn star, I would be overthinking everything. And I'd be in my own head. Like, shit, she's had like the best of the best and I'm just like a normal.
I mean, it's true. We have had the best of the best. I'm not going to lie. That is true. So...
Fuck.
But I think the problem is like when men do get into their own head, it fucks everything up because... If you're in your head, you're not focused on the woman in front of you. Like if you're in your head, you're thinking about, oh my God, is my cock hard enough? Is my cock big enough? Am I touching her right? There's a woman in front of you. How lucky are you? Focus on her and her pleasure, and everything will go fine. That's that. If you're in your head, simple. How are you finding her clit? If you're like, is my dick big enough? Like where are you in that moment? Connect with the woman.
So true. Yeah. No, I know. It's obvious. It's obviously what you're saying is true, but sometimes it's hard to get over that hurdle, especially when you're overthinking it. But I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I think just always think about the girl. I think, and honestly, like a lot of male talent, that's what they do to stay hard in a scene is think about the girl. Because if you've got a crew of 10 people and you start thinking, oh my gosh, like the cameraman's looking at me right now waiting for me to get hard, how are you going to get hard? You have to look at the person that you're working with and like what's the body part that you like the most? Like what do her lips feel like on your lips? Like you've got to focus on the interaction that you're having with that person to get aroused.
Yeah, wow. I feel like that could be a really cool book. Like you could write like for the average guy how to like, you know, perform and like in a professional way when you're not a professional. So what you're saying is there's not enough male performers out there?
Yeah, so we need more. So if you're ready to try
No, not me. That was not me. That was not me.
You're already used to being on camera. You're an attractive guy. I'm sure, like, you know, you already have a brand. You've built a brand. It'd be, just.
No, I didn't mean for me.
Start taking more clothes off.
I didn't mean for me. I was
Who
like.
Who did you mean for?
I meant like if there's a male listener or someone watching this, how would they even go about getting into the male adult entertainment industry? Because for a girl, like, there's a lot of like. Would I say pathways? Like you can start, sure. Let's say, I mean, I'm assuming here you could start with modeling, then you could go to being a stripper, and then you meet the right contacts, and you kind of like, it all filters down. But for a man, I would feel like there's not as much of a straightforward pathway.
Well, it's just harder.
I was like,
it's just hard. Everything's hard. No, it is tougher for a man to get into the industry. It's much easier for a woman to get into the industry, that's for sure. And that's just because the men are required to do certain things that are very hard.
I finally met someone as immature as me. I love it.
My suggestion, because I actually get a lot of fans asking me, like, I want to get into the industry. And honestly, half the time they're asking me, I think it's more of a fantasy in their head. They're not actually serious about it, because I know I'm going to say the word hard again. Take a shot every time I say hard.
Say it as many times as you want.
But I'll say difficult. It is very difficult to do the job that male talent do. It is a tough job. So the idea of it sounds great, but they don't realize how much they have to go through to actually create porn films. So I would say if they're serious about it, I would create like a Pornhub channel and start putting out content of themselves, like self-publishing on their OnlyFans. So that way, if they want to actually approach a producer or an agent, they can kind of give some links and be like, hey, this is what I can do. What do you think?
Plus, they'll have an audience. They can be like, I'm bringing X amount of people who are watching my content over to your studio or channel.
Well,
or whatever.
If they've already building a brand, then that's really helpful as well.
Yeah. Okay. Guys listening out there you go. Start your own channel. What's some of the biggest misconceptions with porn? Like, what's something is there anything that drives you nuts and crazy? Just like, guys, it's just not true.
I'm still having to answer this question about whether women entering the industry have any other options, whether they choose to get into the industry. And I've been answering this question for decades at this point. So that kind of drives me crazy. And it also drives me crazy that this is a gendered question, because when male porn stars are interviewed, they're never asked, like, did you have any other options? Like, were you forced into the industry? Male performers are seen as legends. Like, of course, like, how good is that you get to have sex with beautiful women for work? But female performers, there's always this assumption that, you know, they're abused or drug addicted or traumatized, and that's the only reason that they would get into porn, and not for the same reason men would want to get into it, that they're sexual beings, want to have sex with incredibly beautiful people, want to be creative and make films. So there is this there's this sexual stigma, but also this kind of gendered divide where, you know, men and women get treated differently within the industry still.
I totally agree with you. And I feel like a question that never gets asked towards the male porn stars is, what are your kids going to think about this one day? Or the annoying questions that you guys probably get all the time at your seminars or expos or whatever. I feel like those pressured, loaded questions, I've never personally seen one of them asked to a male porn star. Whereas the female porn stars, you see videos all the time online of those annoying questions, like, what are your kids going to think? And what do your parents think? And blah, blah, blah. And I feel like I've personally never seen one asked to a man.
Or like daddy issues. Like, you never see male performers, like people saying, oh, you must have mummy issues. Like, there's never any of that. Or the question that female performers get asked a lot is, do you feel degraded? Do you feel exploited? Nobody would even think about asking that of a male performer, because of course they don't feel degraded and exploited. Like, it's just the assumption that of course they don't, because they get to have sex with beautiful women for a living.
Yeah, it's the same job.
Yeah, it's the same job. And that's just, you know, that's about the sexual shame in our society, and specifically around like female sexuality and how much we're supposed to want to have sex, and how we're supposed to only give sex away for free to one man to whom we are married. Like, that's the narrative. Is
the narrative getting better, or is it getting worse? Like, is the people's impressions getting towards a better place, or no?
I want to say yes. I do. I felt like that it was getting better. There was a shift towards it, and now I feel like there is this kind of like a new surge of negativity around sex work and sex workers. So I want to say yes, it's getting better. I mean, pornography and OnlyFans is becoming more normalized and mainstreamed, and sex workers are more humanized. So yes, it's getting better, but I still experience the same stigmas. So we're not close to being free from that.
If you get asked one of those annoying questions, do you even answer it, or do you?
Oh yeah, I answer it because. I mean, I might push back on it and say, "Oh, would you ask that to a man?" But you know, I get it. People are curious, But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm here on these podcasts to kind of demystify, destigmatize, and humanize sex workers. So if I can do that in an interview, then that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the porn industry has changed so much over the last 5-ish years. I mean, you're getting a lot of creators now who are trying to break records. You know, like, I'm not sure if you know about the Bonnie Blues, and they're trying to beat the amount of people they can sleep with in a 24-hour period. Now, I assume that all that stuff is for their own publicity and to grow their channels. Like, what does someone like you who's been in the industry for a long time think about all these new age ways that people are exploring the adult entertainment industry?
So for me personally, as long as people are doing it for the right reasons, it doesn't bother me at all. So I think that if you're doing something scandalous just for the headline, that may not be positive for you down the road. So everything that I do in the industry, I focus on scenes that are fun, that are something that is part of like expressing and exploring my sexuality. I don't focus on headlines or virality. For me, virality comes from just doing something cool and authentic. And if it happens, it happens. And so then I know that everything that I shoot is coming from a place of what I want to do and what makes me happy. So, and I'm not suggesting that what they're doing isn't making them happy. I'm just saying that scandal for scandal's sake or for the headline isn't necessarily a smart idea unless it's something you genuinely love doing and are passionate about.
And it will be impossible for us to actually tell from them.
Yeah.
Now, OnlyFans, that has boomed the last 5-ish or so years. Now, is this good for the porn industry or is it bad?
Good. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes. Performers are more empowered now than ever before. OnlyFans has given them the means to create content in their own home and make more money than they ever could, like shooting for porn studios, which is great because it means that when performers are shooting for studios, you know they really want to be there because they could make more money setting up a ring light and shooting a solo at home. So I think it's great. I think it's great for the industry. I think it's great that performers have this platform where they're in control of production. They are directors and producers and performers. They're creating their content. They're organizing. If they're doing a script, they're deciding on the concepts, the wardrobe, the location, their scene partners. I think it's fantastic for the industry.
Is there any scenes that you look back on and just go, that was just a ridiculous scene? Or has there ever been a time where you've laughed or something that you just go, I can't believe I had to play that character?
Sure. I mean, sure, there are some ridiculous scripts I've done, but nothing like too mortifying. I see my scripts before I agree to a scene, so I'm able to like change things in a script. I'm actually the main things that I've changed in scripts is anything that was like slut shaming. So sometimes I'll do like a script that's kind of
degrading.
Well, no, it's more like competitive for the women, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do anything that's like where I'm like slut shaming another performer, even if it's just a role, but I just didn't want to represent that in any of my scenes. I want it to all be like sex positive and fun. But if it's like silly, I don't mind, like I can laugh at myself. Like I don't mind playing a silly character. I don't care if the plumber's coming and I'm like,
Classics.
I don't care about, making fun of myself and like, diving into those porn tropes.
That's great though. I feel like you can have a laugh at your own expense, which is a great characteristic to have. Has anything ever gone totally wrong in a scene?
Oh, all the time.
Like what?
Oh, like some days you just like have a disaster day, like from the moment you arrive on set. So say like sometimes with location scouting, you don't have the opportunity to actually go and look at the location. And so you've seen the photos online and you rock up and you're like, this is nothing like the photos. It's filthy. Like I've turned up to like the most beautiful mansion on Sunset Plaza, and the person who was renting the place had a party the night before, and there were beer bottles everywhere on the floor. There was dog piss on the floor.
No.
There was it was filthy. And this was a beautiful mansion. So turning up, it's already like, wow, we've got to clean up. And also it's an anal scene, so you don't want to reschedule. Like I've already prepped for 24 hours for anal, so whatever's happening, someone's sticking a dick in my ass, like this is like
oh my God.
I'm sorry.
No, that's the podcast title right there. That's the best quote I've ever heard.
I'm not doing all that prep for nothing. So yeah, I mean, there's just, you could, like, every disaster you can think of, like, you know, like you're already in the makeup chair, and then you get the call that the talent needs to cancel for some reason, and then your second choice also is now unavailable, and then your third choice is, but they turn up hungover, and you're like, we can't do this. Like there's just so many things that can go wrong, like on any day at any time. Thankfully, that's not the norm though. Most of the time, things are nice and smooth, but these things do happen.
Yeah, wow. When you meet people, because I obviously, I did a reality TV show and I work in social media, and sometimes when I meet people, I just lie about what I do.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't be bothered to like have to go down, oh, I was on this show and yeah, I do a bit of social media, and like it's just such an effort of a conversation.
Yeah.
When you meet people and you're like, this person's going to ask me annoying questions or they're going to judge me, do you ever lie about what you do?
The only time I don't lie. The only time I kind of avoid it is if I'm in an Uber. Because
wow.
I don't normally get Ubers, but if for some reason I have to get an Uber and I'm alone and they start asking me what I do, I don't want to be alone in an Uber in a situation where they might be taking me to my home or to somewhere where, you know, I just don't. So I just kind of try and avoid.
Okay.
I try.
Like, what do you say?
Sometimes I like pretend I didn't hear, or like I'll be like, oh, what? Oh no, I'm just going to a friend's house. Like I just act ditzy. Like.
That's good. I might need to take that one.
Yeah, just act ditzy. It usually works.
Yeah. Wow. Because it almost would be like a bit of a security.
Yeah. I've also said, like, what do you do? Oh, nothing. I just act like a trust fund kid. I'm like, nothing. Nothing. I just
like a trust
with my
fund
friends.
kid.
Yeah.
There's enough over there. They believe it straight away.
We're in LA. It's
That's
fine.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's something that if the public knew about porn, it would ruin it for them? Is there anything?
Oh, like learning how the sausage is made.
Yeah. I don't know how much you can reveal.
What would ruin it? I don't know if there's any. It's hard for me to like, because I know everything about porn and it doesn't turn me off from watching porn. So I'm like, what could possibly turn people off? Maybe how corporate it is and how professional. I don't know if that's really a turn off. But it may probably make you feel better about watching porn, actually, because it's like everything's consented to. We go through boundary checklists every time we shoot. Every time we shoot, we have to prove we're over the age of 18. Doesn't matter that I've shot 1,000 scenes. I have to fill out my 2257 paperwork every time I'm on set, hold up my IDs and prove that I'm over 18. There's a lot of paperwork involved in shooting porn. So I don't know if that's a turn off, but it's not the party wild lifestyle that people think it is. People think that we're shooting late at night and we're drinking. Drugs and alcohol are not allowed on set, absolutely prohibited. So it's like kind of like a 9 to 5. Like I'm in makeup at 8 a.m.
Wow.
And then doing my paperwork at 10 a.m. You know, it's very structured, very corporate. So that's probably something that the public don't realize.
Yeah, wow. Because I would think that it's like a rock star lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like the cliches that you see in the movies or whatever. And you would think that like, you know, you're doing all these crazy things every day and living it up and private jets and like, you know what I mean? Like it's weird like what you consider in your head. Do you ever feel pressure to constantly be like the Angela White? Or are you very much happy to just be chill, normal self? Like, because like when I meet people, sometimes I feel pressure to sort of be a certain vibe and energy and impress someone a little bit. Like, do you ever feel that pressure because you are so well known now?
I only let that pressure, like I when I turn up on set, obviously I have to be Angela White. So they're paying me my rate to be Angela White. So when I'm on set, I am. But not really. But also I don't really do the whole celebrity lifestyle thing and go out to parties and do all that stuff. I'm more of a homebody. I go to set. I go crazy on set. Like when I'm on set, that is when I'm wild. I get all my craziness out of my system, and then I go home and I work out and I hike and I drink green juices and, you know, like I live my healthy lifestyle.
I love that. I love that. Second last question, sorry. How much money is actually in porn? Like, is there, like, I would think that there must be a lot of money in it because it's so popular. Is it as much as people think?
No.
Wow.
There's more money in OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's all self-owned, right?
It's just OnlyFans boomed, and there's so many consumers on OnlyFans. It's just easier to make money on OnlyFans. And plus you're talking directly to your fans. So there's different ways to make money. So for example, when you're as a performer shooting in porn, you make your money on that day. You get paid for that scene, so you don't get royalties. So you make that amount. Doesn't matter how successful the scene is, you've got your set amount that you're making. When you film a scene for your OnlyFans, for example, you can sell that scene 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, however many, depending on how many subscribers you have. You also are able to do live shows on OnlyFans. You can get tips on OnlyFans. You can do custom videos on OnlyFans. So there's a lot of different ways that you can make money on OnlyFans, whereas in porn, when you're shooting for a porn scene, you're making that one check and that's it.
Are the studios nervous about that? Like the big studios, that like people can just make so much more money on their own platform as opposed to shooting with a big company and studio?
I don't know if they're nervous about that. I mean, there's benefits to shooting with porn studios. So for example, they already have like a large brand, large socials. So for example, OnlyFans performers may want to shoot for a studio so that they can get exposure on the platform because they have so many subscribers, exposure to their social media. So there's those kind of marketing benefits. And for me, there's just the benefits of how much fun it is. Like I love both. I love shooting for OnlyFans and I love shooting studio scenes. So I'm actually contracted with Brazzers, which is the biggest porn company in the world.
I love Brazzers.
Yeah, Brazzers is amazing.
They've been great for the longest since I was 16.
Yeah, well, they're
maybe even before that. I just remember seeing them obviously at 16, and like they always were like the gold standard for me.
Well, especially if you like MILF content.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they're all about their
seriously.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I love going on set because there's this camaraderie. It's fun going on set, seeing the crew members, catching up with everyone. It's kind of like a little get together, and it's fun to create something like that with a group of people. But I mean, I'm biased because I just love shooting porn, but that's just me. But I don't think that they'd necessarily be worried because they also serve different markets too. Like there are fans that love Brazzers content and also OnlyFans content, but also Brazzers content is more highly produced and script based. So there are going to be fans that prefer that to say the amateur POV style that a lot of people are putting out on OnlyFans. So they're different. They serve different markets as well.
And I'll get you out of here on this one. You have achieved so much in, from everything you've done. What are you looking to conquer next? Is there something that you still haven't kind of successfily conquered, or have you done it all and you're pretty content and you just want to...
So content.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm having so much fun shooting, and that's my main aim now, is just to do shoots that are fun, really connect with my on-screen partners, do creative projects. That's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Love it.
Yeah.
Angela, thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you let the audience know where they can find you on all your platforms, your channels? We'll give you a bit of a chance to plug it all.
Out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You can go to angelawhite.com. That's going to link you to all the naughty stuff. And then my Instagram is the Angela White. If you're on X, it's just Angela White. TikTok is Angela White. Is there anything else?
That's all.
That's a lot.
Thank you so much for joining us. I personally learned a whole heap of stuff. So that was really, really insightful. I'm sure the audience learned a lot about it. Appreciate it. And all the best with your future plans here in Australia.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Angela.
Bye.